precisely what were these things before they came into existence, and these are the things that control you. For example, DNA didn't exist before 1953 because the double helix model was created, not discovered, but created by two scientists who won the Nobel Prize for it. The foundation was laid in 1869. But you can clearly see what's going on, just like religion. The world's oldest religion is Hinduism, at 4,500 years old. What were these things before they existed? The alleged word of God. Before religion existed, what was the word of God when the dinosaurs were roaming the earth? Does anybody know? Because they were here hundreds of millions, if not billions of years before any human beings ever walked the face of this planet. That's why I say you need to question everything. Lest we forget, brothers and sisters, that if it is on TikTok, it's propaganda, because they will not allow any truth whatsoever to be uploaded to these communist social media platforms. So everything you're hearing on these outlets, these social media platforms, is all propaganda, because they're allowing it. This is what is formulating your opinions, your ideas, your beliefs. This is what creates cultures. C-U-L-T, cult. U-R-E. Two separate words. I highly advise you look them both up. The definition of the meaning of cult and URE, U-R-E. You'll be pretty shocked. I already did a video on it anyway. What were these things before they came into existence? Science, the explanation of what you call a universe, what you call God, what you call life, what you call reality. Long before human beings were ever created, what was the explanation of these things before human beings came into existence, before their definitions, their explanations, and their descriptions were ever created or contrived? What were they then? For example, the anatomy of the human body, it's broken down into parts. This is the skull, the brain, the eyes, and then they get into the medical anatomical details of it. Pulmonary, cardiovascular, neural, central nervous system, the musculature, pulmonary, cardio, everything. The skin, the blood, platelets, all of these fancy terms and words and all of this superfluous, convoluted nomenclature that they superimpose over all these things. The human body existed long before science did. So where were the explanations, descriptions, and definitions then? They didn't exist. This was made up, I told you. Roughly, if you look at it, analyze all of human history. This stuff doesn't come into existence until roughly around 6,000 years to the present moment. Psychiatry and psychology were created in the late 1800s to explain the human condition. Religion is only 4,500 years old. Let's say 5,000. The oldest human, almost 4 million years old, in comparison to the Earth, which is no age, but give it a number, 5 billion. In comparison to the universe, no age, but of course, give it a number, 80 billion, 60 billion, 13 billion. You know what I mean? What were these things long before human beings' explanations came into existence? Because human beings had nothing whatsoever to do with the creation of anything that you call a planet, an earth, a universe, a star system, a galaxy, God, Jesus, heaven. None of it. You had nothing to do with the creation of these things. But here, human beings are giving these detailed definitions, explanations, and descriptions, pontificating as if they're some sort of pretentious gods themselves, that we should just go, oh, yes, we will never question this. Everything that you're saying is just a holy nugget of wisdom. I won't ever debate it because it's just the irrefutable truth. That's what they want you to think. Everything, all of the information that you're assimilating, the content, is formulating your opinions, beliefs, understandings, ideas, your interpretation, your perception of what life is. That's exactly the intention of what they're doing. This is what creates your mindset, your mentality, the way you see life, exactly the way they want you to see it. Because that's the way they can control it. That's why you seek validation from an external source, because you care more about what people think about you than what you think about yourself. And that is the honest truth right there. That's the absolute honest truth. And there is no other way to dance around that. That's why you're always looking to be liked by others and to get in on groups and hang out with people, because you're social and that's your weakness. And they know it and they exploit it and manipulate it to their advantage. And this is no different. This is why you're unhappy, because where you're sourcing your information from is just all nonsense. It's all made up. That's why nothing makes sense in life. That's why you're seeking things outside yourself, because they never told you, hey, guess what? You are the greatest miracle that you're searching for. So instead of creating things inside, you're searching for things outside in an attempt to try to find something to bring it back into your life to fill that void that doesn't exist. Because they told you, you need this. See, this is what success is. This is what beauty is. This is what fame is. This is our definition of it. This is what it looks like. If you don't have it, you're a bum, you're a loser, you're a nobody. So of course you feel left out. You want to be like everybody else because you want to be liked by everybody else. So you're looking on TikTok and YouTube for answers to fill in those questions that you have, that void to be filled. That's why you fill your life with materialism, and your only goal is money because they brainwashed you and manipulated you to become exactly what they wanted you to be. You wake up in the morning, money is the first thing on your brain, or sex. That's it. That's your whole life. That's not a life. That's an existence. I'm just trying to explain the blatant, obvious truth here. This is self-explanatory. Once you can rise above the nonsense and disconnect from this stuff and just disconnect from all of it and stop believing what they say, then you can rise inside yourself and align with the divine within. That's the whole point. To be self-sufficient, proactive, and autonomous, folks. Not to be reliant on them for your answers, for your directions, instructions, advice, suggestions. Help me, help me, help me. I can't exist without you. So says the person to the system. I have to have you. I don't know what to do. I'm lost. I'm a child. I can't think for myself. That's why people post pictures on Facebook saying, oh, what haircut should I get? Oh, I'm dating this person. Where should we go on our first date? I mean, come on, folks. This is getting to be ridiculous. You can't even think for yourselves, Come on, but you do have the power. You do have the power. Just unplug from that place. They're going to keep telling you the same stuff. That this is this and this is that. And you're going to, oh, but wait a minute. Last year you told me it was this. Well, no, we changed it now. It's this now. Oh, okay, we're going to go with that. They always change their story in midstream when they trip over their own selves. That's the way it is because the right hand doesn't know what the left hand's doing when it comes to that system. Everybody has their own conflicting opinions and conflicting ideology. That's what you leaving the masses confused. And that's the whole intent. That's the purpose of this misinformation campaign. Propaganda is to confuse you. That's exactly what it is. It's to control you with fear, intimidation, paranoia, and to control you with confusion and chaos because you can't think straight. You can't plot out your next course of direction. You can't plan things. You can't strategize. That's the point. When you lose your mind, something that you've never had in the first place, but when you lose your mind, you lose the capacity for any semblance of rational thought. So therefore, you are now subject to surrendering that to an outside source, and they're going to control you. And that's exactly the way it works. Psychological warfare waged against the human imagination, 101, folks. Disconnect from that system. That's the only way out. I'm telling you. Journey within to cross over to the other side. And that's all I could say. Peace.